And joining us now for more is Dimitri Diliani, a member of the Fatah Revolutionary Council, speaking to us from the West Bank city of Jericho. Dimitri, thanks for coming back. Obviously, the relationship between the U.S. and the Palestinians has improved from the Trump administration, but how would you characterize them now?
Well, thanks for having me. I think that the Palestinian-U.S. relations have gone back to the 70s when it's merely a security relationship. In the 70s, Ali Hassan Salameh was the point man and the connection between the CIA and the Palestinian chairman, Yasser Arafat, to take care of and coordinate in Lebanon. The only difference is now that we're not dealing in Lebanon. We are dealing in the West Bank and West Bank only, not even including Gaza Strip. And the reason for that is that after hard work to build diplomatic and political relations that were fruitful in the early 90s, after the Palestinian de facto recognition of the State of Israel in November 15, 1988, and the launch of the peace process, President Abbas decided, in retaliation of the U.S. administration's recognition of Jerusalem as capital of the State of Israel, decided to cut off diplomatic ties, and diplomatic ties only, because we all know security ties still continue, which was somebody self-shooting in the foot. That is something that it was wasteful, and agreeing to reconnect the diplomatic relations with no clear kind of payback is just something that I would consider at least not smart on the part of the Palestinian president. I think that before returning to normal relations, there should have been targets, time schedule, and way and guarantees to implement that, including reopening of the U.S. consulate in occupied East Jerusalem, including the aid packages, the uplifting of problem security cooperation and security support, in order for things to go step by step. And there are also steps that needs to be taken towards Israel, because the United States administration during the Trump era decided to just give free gift to the Netanyahu right-wing administration by their recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel. On the other side, what did we get? We got nothing.
Okay, but the United States is not going to rescind that, but maybe there is a suggestion.
They cannot, because this was built on a congressional decision in the 90s, 1996, and you cannot reverse that. But on the other hand, you can build policies to equate things, like, for example, recognize that Jerusalem is also the capital of the State of Palestine, while the two parties negotiate the borders between them and the relations.
Okay, I understand it's unlikely to happen. Dimitri, stay with us. I want to just go to another item quickly related. Residents of the Tel Aviv suburb of Ramat Gan today were treated to an unusual sight. The Palestinian flag hung alongside an Israeli flag and Hebrew and Arab text reading, "We are meant to live together." The flags were hung by a group, Mehaz Haskim, which bills itself as a digital movement to strengthen the left in Israel. The Ramat Gan municipality quickly removed the Palestinian banner. Now, this gesture came as the Israeli parliament was set to vote on a bill that will ban the display of, quote, enemy flags, including the Palestinian colors at universities or on government institutions. Dimitri, I want to get just your comment on that. While pointing out, we know that an Israeli flag put up in any Palestinian city or town or village would, of course, be taken down immediately, even quicker.
Absolutely. And I will tell you what the difference is. The difference is between the killer and the victim. You are the occupier, and we are under occupation. How could we be treated equally or treat each other's national symbols equally? This seems by itself biased, unrealistic, and unacceptable, because this is running away from admission that we are people under occupation, something that the State of Israel had recognized previously, but now has tracked back down from that recognition. And until the State of Israel recognizes that we are people under occupation and recognizes the agreements between us, then we are going post-Zionism. We're going towards one-state solution And I think this digital group is on the right track in terms of the future.